All right, welcome to the Center for Holistic Health. I appreciate you being here. Tonight's topic is going to be nutrition and hormone imbalance. Just to give you a little background, I'm Dr. Gene Clark and I'm the director here at the center. I've been in the holistic health field for about 16 years. So my degree is in chiropractic and I do some great work that's more like mind-body connection release work. And we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition tonight and why we want to use that and how helpful that can be. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is why I got into this type of work. So my personal story is, with the other work I did, it's great for releasing stress, and I was probably the calmest person you ever meet, and it's amazing work. However, my body was falling apart. My knees sometimes would be the size of footballs. I'd have roaming joint pain, knee to knee to foot. This went on for about 10 years. And I tried everything. And being in the business, I'm able to, I know a lot of things. And I'd go to different practitioners and try different things. And they all said, well, let's try this and see what happens. And what happened was nothing. I just kept getting worse. And finally, a colleague of mine said he was going to this seminar, and I needed some credit, so I went to this seminar. And at the seminar, I got checked. And for the first time, the practitioner said, this is what's going on with you. And it was like, wow, somebody actually could find out what's happening in my body, and that was great for me. It was also kind of a bittersweet moment because I'd suffered for so many years, getting worse, and I can't tell you sometimes how much pain I was in. So much pain that I would actually see visions. That's how much pain I was in. So, I started receiving this work myself, and I saw how great it was for me and how much it helped my own health, that I naturally wanted to deliver it to my clients. And if you look at it, if you think about this, there's only 4 things that are going to affect someone's health. One is stress, the other is trauma, and we have toxicity and lack of proper building blocks. And so the other work I do handles the stress and trauma really well, and what we're going to talk about tonight handles the toxicity and the nutrition or the building blocks part. So one of the things, I've always known nutrition is important, but one of the things that was hard for me as a practitioner was that I had the philosophy, I knew that everybody was different and there was no one nutritional product or nutritional protocol that was good for everybody because we're all different. And so I actually, at several times had these different companies come in and I got accounts with them, but I could never actually get myself to tell somebody they needed these particular supplements because honestly I didn't know. And so for me that didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I could say that and live with myself. So I didn't do it. This particular work, the greatest thing about it is that I can find out for sure exactly what a particular individual needs, and I can feel good about telling them, that it's going to help them because I know there's no guesswork here. And as you can see, Dr. Fred Yulin, how this nutrition response testing, which is what we're going to talk about, came about was Fred Yulin, who's also a chiropractor, but has done nutrition for years, was on his deathbed, actually. So bad that he could only be up standing an hour a day. And so he started getting into doing nutrition and nursing himself back to health, and he found that he got to a certain point where he just couldn't get any better, and he was taking about 400 supplements, so 400 pills a day, and he was maintaining, but he could only get so far. So he started to explore different things and find out why. What is it that is holding him back? And he, through this process over a period of several years, he developed a system that helped him overcome that and found out why people can only get so far, and really brought his program down to a manageable amount. And so one of the great things with this is that you don't have to take any more than you need. You don't just take everything, you just take enough. And the other thing about this too is when you see a guy like this, he's in his mid-60s now, and you can see the vibrance and how good he looks and how he's actually rebuilt his body. And whatever program you're going to do, whether it's nutrition or another type of work, look at the practitioner. And if they don't look good, chances are whatever they're doing isn't that great. In other words, people have to walk their talk and they have to really display what it is that's going on with them. So if you get a chance, and I do actually have some videos, you can see this guy doing nutrition response testing, and you can see how great he looks for his age, and he's actually, looks like he's getting younger. So concept, in the body, anything can cause anything. And this is really important because from the medical think, we have a particular symptom, whatever it is, and we go after trying to fix that symptom. But the thing about the body is that you could have a thyroid gland that's malfunctioning, that's affecting the adrenals, that's affecting the uterus, that's affecting the prostate, or the prostate could be affecting the thyroid, or the liver could be affecting the thyroid, or any combination of things. And so if you just go after what is the likely symptom and think, well, okay, I have metabolism problems, let me treat the thyroid, you might be missing what's really going on, and which is why medicine is generally off the mark most of the time, because they're not looking at the big picture. Holistic health means looking at the big picture, all the things that are involved, not just going after one little part of the body. And the other thing too is interesting. As I've learned more about the body and nutrition, I read these books, and a lot of the paragraphs start off by saying, "It is believed that," meaning we don't really know everything that is going on in the body yet. There are things that the thyroid gland does that we haven't discovered yet. So how can we know whether or not it could be affecting another area? And that goes for all the other glands too. So you find out, my gosh, I thought the pancreas just regulated blood sugar. Oh, but actually it also produces enzymes that help you digest food, and it secretes this other coenzyme or cofactor or a chemical, whatever it is. And again, we know very little about how the body works collectively. Important concept. So tonight's topic is hormone imbalance. And what we find is that whenever somebody has hormone imbalance, they always have a nutritional deficiency. Okay? And you can see I have a little triad here, a little triangle. And as we know in a triangle, when one part moves, it affects the other parts. Okay? So if somebody's got a nutritional deficiency, you'll also know that they have organ dysfunction, meaning organs work because they have certain nutrients that make them work. And if they're lacking in those nutrients, they're not going to function right. Okay? And what happens is when an organ's not functioning right, now it gets sluggish, it doesn't metabolize as quickly, it doesn't get rid of its waste as quickly, and it actually can get bogged down to where it will create more nutritional deficiency. And then what happens is whatever your symptoms are, for instance, hormone imbalance, that starts to actually get worse. And then when that gets worse, you get more nutritional deficiency, and then you get more organ dysfunction, and you get this downward spiral occurring.